all parents will be craving for a cup of hot chocolate after being forced to sit through the snooze fest that is Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas for the holiday season. Ugh, 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 ugh.
And I wonder if you feel the same way too. Will tonight be the night that everything will be just right?
Oh, just could we finally have a Disney Christmas movie that's going straight on the naughty list? I think so. Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas. 2004 sequel to the uh, beautiful and vastly underrated Disney Christmas masterpiece Once Upon a Christmas that released 5 years before this one. And like its predecessor, it has multiple Christmas stories. Only Once Upon a Christmas only had three, which was perfect. This one has like five. Yeah, it is that's overcrowded. We follow Christmas stories such as Minnie and Daisy's rivalry on ice skating, and Huey, Dewey, and Louie traveling to the North Pole to put their names on the good list. Donald being forced to go shopping with Daisy and his nephews when he just wants to stay at home and enjoy his hot chocolate. Uh, Max has a new girlfriend, completely forgets about Roxanne in a Goofy movie, by the way. But of course, Goofy, it completely embarrasses him in front of his girlfriend, and Mickey, for some reason, turns out to be a a real jerk when he sends Pluto to the doghouse, and Pluto runs away. So it's up to Santa's reindeer, get this, to bring Pluto home. Did you get all that? As much as I cherish Once Upon a Christmas, that's a Christmas special I never miss at Christmas. Whereas there's a great many Christmases where I skip Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas. I only recently rewatched it on Disney Plus last year just to refresh my memory, and I'm only doing this rant just because, well, for completion's sake and because this year is this movie's 20th anniversary. So unhappy 20th anniversary Twice Upon a Christmas, I guess. But yeah, it was such an unfun chore to rewatch this. I mean, this, unlike its predecessor, is just a lazy cash in. It was not handled with the same care that the first film was whatsoever. Anyone with a brain and with eyes can see that this film looks way uglier and way more unpleasant to look at than the cozy and magical looking first film. Even with the the Christmassy lighting and the Christmassy vibes from the animation's color palette, why would you do this in CGI? It's doing the exact same thing that's Rudolph and the Island of Misfit Toys did. You know how beautifully animated and crafted the stop motion was for the 1964 Rudolph movie. I mean, whereas Island of Misfit Toys was all CGI'd and it's looked gross. Yeah, to say I don't like the animation and the character designs for Twice Upon a Christmas is a gross understatement. It looks like a literal, the entire time, it's a cutscene from a Disney Christmas video game that came out in the 90s. There was no excuse, no excuse at all to not to have this be a hand drawn Christmas special like Once Upon a Christmas. It would have at the very least looked as pretty as its predecessor if it was done that way. And hand drawn animation was still around in 2004. I mean, Home on the Range was hand drawn animated. Three Musketeers was hand drawn animated. Lion King 1.5 was hand drawn animated. Who agrees this is the worst thing Disney released that year? I mean, I guess the pop up book was kind of a neat idea and does look pretty whenever the a story was done and the narrator would continue on to the next by opening the book. But the narrator here doesn't exactly sound as inviting or as comforting as Kelsey Grammer is in the first film. And the fact that there are five stories in this one, nearly twice as many as Once Upon a Christmas, just makes this one feel overstuffed. Uh, I mean, and Minnie and Daisy having, having that rivalry over and competition over who is champion ice skater. I mean, that was completely out of character for both Minnie and Daisy. They are sisters through and through. They would never be that spiteful to one another. Talk about forcing attention into that story, and you know what? Because Once Upon a Christmas had three stories, the stories had more time and didn't feel so rushed, whereas these stories feel too short and too abrupt because they don't have the timer to live up to their full potential, and also like Santa and the North Pole makes like two appearances in two of the stories, even though this in Once Upon a Christmas in Goofy and Max story, they established that the idea of questioning faith, was there a Santa Claus, and this one is just like nope, Santa is a real. That Goofy story from the first one doesn't mean anything, and Huey, Dewey, and Louie are total brats in this one, and they not only uh, eat the cookies after Uncle Scrooge promised them they could have one after dinner, but they make all that effort to travel to the North Pole just to put their names on the nice list and change the naughty list. I mean, wow. Well, that will get you on the naughty list even higher, boys. And if they do put Scrooge's name on the nice list instead, and Santa does reward them for this by leaving them a gift on Christmas Day. But I'm sorry, but Donald Duck Stuck on Christmas was a far superior story for them. Huey, Dewey, and Louie were never intentionally, well, unlikable in that one. They just wanted to see how fun it would be to relive Christmas every day because they were enjoying the commercial side of it, the presents and the dinner. But they grew to realize when they went too far that Christmas is about uh, being with family and putting others put before yourself. That was a way better message for them to learn. And poor Donald, I felt bad for him in the third story when Daisy and Huey, Dewey, and Louie force him to come Christmas shopping. I'm like, can't they just go and can't let Donald enjoy his hot chocolate in peace? And they're not Donald's and Daisy's sons exactly, so can't Donald's sister, their mother, take them Christmas shopping instead. See what I mean? The stories come off as too mean spirited here, and yeah, don't exactly have nearly as strong morals for younger viewers as its predecessor did. In the Goofy and Max storyline here, oh boy, is it a complete step down from the one from Once Upon a Christmas, where it turns out it's not tying into a Goofy movie, so all fans of a Goofy movie will be grossly let down by that. Max just gets a new girlfriend. Looks like he broke up with Roxanne. His romance with Roxanne really leads her to nothing, and of course, it's so uh, corny and cliche with Goofy just embarrassing Max in front of his girlfriend. And you know exactly how it's going to wrap up. How many times do we need to see this cliche of a parent embarrassing their daughter or son in front of their new partner? And but the fifth and final story to me is the worst because Mickey was a real Ebenezer Scrooge by kicking Pluto out and putting him in the doghouse just because Pluto accidentally, uh, demolished his Christmas decor. And that's kind of copying what's the uh, Chip and Dale shorts is when Pluto was chasing them around Mickey's house. So why do we need to see this story again? He should have been way more understanding of Pluto, and it's literally the Mickey Mouse version of Have You Seen This Snail from SpongeBob, where Gary ran away from home. So overall, yeah, there are worse Christmas movies than Twice Upon a Christmas, but there are also infinitely better ones. One of the most underwhelming and cheapest excuses for a Christmas sequel that I have ever seen in my entire life. Yeah, nobody would watch Twice Upon a Christmas when they could easily just watch the much better Once Upon a Christmas. I give Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas 1 star out of 5. Fuck this movie. Ooh, finally, I've gotten, a Christmas rant off my chest because I've rarely done a negative Christmas review on my channel if you think about it. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this rant. And what are your thoughts on Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas? I'm sure that's a good many of you will favour Once Upon a Christmas over this one. Please comment and let me know. Please like us here and subscribe. Please follow on Twitter and on Instagram. And I'll see you all next time when I review Claws, the one of the best modern Netflix Christmas movies of all time. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.